right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. We are one of Wisconsin's finest school districts, fostering excellence through innovation. Roll call's been taken electronically. And this meeting of the Ripon Area School District Board of Education has been properly noticed in accordance with the Open Meeting Law and State Statute 19.84 and related legal references. We only have one item on the agenda, so I think we can simply accept the agenda as presented. And that item is to figure out the search process and timeline. So, hand over.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. It's great to be back here, for real. I've got a cold, so you can bear with my voice and my throat here. But again, thank you for the opportunity. We're excited to do your search. And we want to spend some time tonight just talking about the process, going through the timeline. The biggest thing is there's so many dates that we have to get everything in our calendars, so we make sure we have the whole search process in your calendar so you know what's going on. The first question I have is, can everyone get into the board portal? You have to be able to get into your portal. And your password is basically your school email. So if you try to log in from home or without your school email, it's not going to let you in. So you have to use your school email. So all the documents are housed in the portal. I won't spend a lot of time on the portal, but you'll see there's 6 tabs up on top. And the home tab is where we're going to put the board summary updates. You can see the updated sheet in there. You can see the planning document. I'm working off the planning document tonight. Your posting is in there as well. You're going to spend a lot of time under the recruit. The recruit tab is going to house.
Shara's got. We like those.
So the recruit tab is going to house all of your applications, all your candidates. You can see there's already 2 in there, but you can't see. I can see 3 others on my end in the front line, but they're not yet submitted. So that's why you don't see them there. They're waiting for a letter of reference or waiting for something before they hit submit. I think I told you when I did the presentation, most people apply at the very end. So don't panic. You will get at least 15 applicants, if not more, but most of them do come in at the very end. So if you're following along, I'm in the planning document right now. And you will see that what we try to do is the very first 2, there's a box up on top. So we've got, that's your portal link, and then there's a Zoom link. So we'll use the same Zoom link throughout the process. If I ever have to Zoom with you, or if we want to do some focus groups virtual, we'll use that Zoom link. That's your specific district Zoom link for the whole search. Then we got all the board members' emails. We don't want to send you a lot of emails. We want to put everything in the portal. On occasion, I may have to send an email, and I may have to communicate with the board president on occasion. But for the bulk of the search, everything is going to be in that portal. If you can't find anything, if you have questions, please email, text, or call me, or call Stacy, or text Stacy, or Scott, and we will help you find whatever you're looking for. So then you can see, you just keep scrolling down, your search team. We've got 2 associates, then we've got a few back office people on your team as well. Scott is actually with another district tonight, but he is my partner on this search, and so you may or may not see him as much as me, but you need to know he's behind the scenes, he's vetting, he's looking at the applications, he's making contacts, he's reaching out to other associates, we're trying to build you a really strong slate is what we're trying to do. Confidentiality, extremely important that we don't mention to anybody who's applied for the job. In Wisconsin, as long as you interview at least 6 for that first round, those names are confidential, and we want to try to keep all the names confidential. People tend to drop out of searches if their names does get leaked out. I did send you an email, I think it was yesterday, about setting up your board interview, and we can do that either by Zoom or just a phone call is fine as well. think 3 of you actually responded back already, so that's good. So we have 3 set up, and if the rest of you would just check your email, and then I gave you a bunch of times for next week. I think it was Monday and Tuesday. But if those days don't work, just call me. We'll set up a time that works. And even if you're working and you don't get home till 6 o'clock, you want to do it at 7 o'clock at night, that's fine. We'll set up a date, whatever works within your schedule. And it takes about 20 to 25 minutes, maybe 30 if you have a lot to say. It'll take 30 minutes. Focus groups, my number 6. So for the focus groups, I will work with Jolene on the schedule, but what we want to do tonight is we want to identify the stakeholders who you would like us to talk to. That's the important part tonight. And then we want to verify, so we want to check the school calendar to make sure that you are in session on Tuesday, February 18th, and Monday, February 24th. Those are the 2 days that we've designated to do focus groups in your district. So you'll see that Scott can be here on the 18th, and I can be here on the 24th. And then we always try to do one on Sunday night, and so that Sunday night will be February 23rd, is when we'll do a virtual one for anyone that wants to join on that Sunday night. But as we look at, so both those dates work, the 18th and 24th?
18th and 24th, we are in session.
Perfect, perfect. And so we won't get bogged down with the schedule tonight. Very typical that we meet with staff, we meet with administrators, we meet with students, we meet with parents. Is there any particular group out there in this community that would be important to meet with? And you'll see I've got civic groups listed. So in this situation, the district just sent out an invite to all the civic groups, and they had their own designated time. I think it was like noon or 1 o'clock on one of those days, where you might not get a lot of people, but you might get some real critical people from your community that show up for that, and they really like having their separate time. But if there's a mayor, chief of police, anyone you can think of that would be either a one-on-one or within a group, within their own group, this is the time to kind of share that information or get it to Jolene, and we can work with that schedule.
Anybody have anything?
I think the mayor and chief of police are
That's a great
critical
idea.
people. Perhaps you can call them, or you just want to say groups right
I
now?
No,
was thinking
that's
of the
good.
same
I think
thing.
the president, I think Vicki.
What about like, are you looking at volunteer type groups? I was thinking of the Rotary, or is that in a
Yeah,
different
that would be civic group, yeah.
Okay,
Or somebody from the college, given the
Yeah.
relationship between sharing facilities. and-
Definitely the college,
Absolutely.
absolutely, post-secondary.
Plus having high school students on campus for different things, and there's a lot of overlap there.
The president of the college would be great if you can schedule her. She travels a lot.
And
And sooner the better, because she's got a grandchild on the way.
yeah, and what we've done with presidents, it's typically a Zoom just because of their schedule, but we will definitely get that scheduled.
that's a good idea.
Have a close working relationship with the district.
That would be
Not
nonprofit.
at the moment.
Who did you
Will,
say?
like to,
They will in May.
Katie, who was that?
Boys and Girls
Boys and
Club.
Girls
Oh, Boys and Girls Club.
It's Amy Polish.
I
The
would,
director of Boys and Girls Club was on the board, but
right,
Well, the
Amy
site-
was on the
Oh,
board.
Amy was, yes.
She's- Well, is she the director? I mean, the site director is Ashley
technically.
Dodson.
Yeah, she's involved, but
Yeah, I'm not sure she's the person in charge.
I would suggest the president of the Ripon Education Foundation. I think
that's a
it's
good
Jean-
idea.
I think it's Jean Williams.
Do you want anything in the hospital?
I would, yeah, or even like the bigger organizations in town that businesses, I don't know, do they,
Alliance Laundry,
yeah.
they do a lot of friendship work,
Mhm.
internship stuff.
I would have said Webster's, and Webster's still been Webster's.
Do you have like business partners that partner with the school?
The friendship. ones.
Yeah, we
Are
do
those that
use
I
apprenticeship,
Think of,
uh,
use the friendships.
but I don't know, principal of the high school would know
Okay.
more than us.
There's like 70 of
I
them.
was gonna say, there's a lot there, so I'm not sure.
I mean, because, kids that are out there.
I mean, usually Rotary and Kiwanis are looking for speakers or looking for stuff like this, so, I mean, that could
Yep.
be potential.
You
But
said
usually we
mayor,
expect
but
the superintendent to join one of those.
Right, yep.
you said mayor, but what about city administrators that would be
That'd be
more
Adam.
regularly?
Yeah, I think that's more important.
Item Sontag would be excellent to ask.
So what we can do with this, so like the mayor, chief of police, city administrator, fire chief, we can send them an invite and we can do them within their own group.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
so it might be 4, 5, 6 people, but it's just that targeted designated group.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I know the Rotary meets Mondays at noon, or did they change that? Who's on the weekend? Used to be Mondays at noon, but some places, that might be different now.
I don't know.
Wednesdays.
Ripon and Kiwanis is Tuesdays at noon.
Are you in the noon one or the?
Noon.
I was an early bird, that's Wednesday morning at 7 a.m.
Hmm.
Hence why I.
Yeah. So it's, for Rotary, what we've done in the past too, so let's say they meet at noon on Monday, and usually they have their speakers well in advance. I was a Rotarian for numerous years. And so what we've done though is, so if they meet from noon to 1, then we'll coordinate it, and then we'll show up at 1, and then anyone that wants to stick around after the Rotary meeting will stick around and we'll do a focus group. Usually get a pretty decent, we don't need 50 people, but if we can get 10 people that really have a vested interest in the school district, it's well worth it. So that's one thing we've done, or we can try to get on their program, but I'm guessing that their programs are already booked.
The Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
President. Mandy Hines.
Well, the library. Someone from the library.
It's new, they just hired her. She's new.
Did they already hire somebody? I just remembered.
Yes, they did. Yeah. She just started working on one, but I don't know.
And some of these might be at the Rotary.
Right.
I mean, you
Yep.
don't capture.
And keep in mind, we do a couple of different community ones too, so anyone can show up to the community ones, so you're gonna have, it's gonna kind of overlap a little bit. Good, that's a great start. So I will work with Jolene on, we'll kind of hone in on that list, and then we'll get those scheduled, so. And if you think of any others, just shoot me an email. But we want to really get a nice cross-reference of your community. The survey. So you have 2 options for the survey. So we have 2 types of surveys. We have the free one, which is the Google survey. And a lot of districts tend to go to that one. Or the HYA survey, there's an add-on $2,000 cost for the HYA survey. And so if you click on, there's 2 links there. So you can click on that where it says sample completed HYA survey. It's on page 4. If you click on that link, you can kind of see what the summary, that's an actual survey that was New Richmond's. You can see what the summary looks like of the HYA survey. A lot of the bigger districts will take the HYA survey. The medium to smaller districts just tend to do the Google survey, because you can get all of the information that you need out of that as well.
What is your return rate on each one? Do you have an average?
Oh, that's a great question. It depends on how well the district will market the link. The districts that do a good job with their social media and their website, and it tends to be a lot higher. New Richmond is really high, I think, so you can see the number. New Richmond had, I think, over 1,000. But the districts who tend to have not so good websites, don't do a lot of social media, we struggle to get participation. It's very easy to send the survey link to parents, students, and staff. The hard reach, it's the people who don't have students in the district, they're in the buildings. That's a little bit harder, that's where that social media presence is really important. So there's the HYA survey, and then the link underneath that, you can see the Google survey. So what we're trying to capture with the Google survey is if people miss the focus group, or if they just don't wanna say anything, they wanna put some things in writing, the survey is a great way to do it. I know it says Prescott, that's just a sample, so it's not a mistake, it's a sample survey.
So the Google survey is basically what you've asked of, or
Correct. Extension of the focus groups. It's just one way to get maximum participation. And then we'll summarize the survey, and we'll put the entire survey in the board portal, but we will not put the comments on your website. The only thing that will go on your website is the summary of the survey and our report. But you will see every comment when the survey is done. And that becomes, again, a great tool for the new superintendent.
anybody have a feeling? I'm happy with the Google survey.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that too, yeah.
We just had the other survey results too, in the internal one. Not that long ago, we maybe pulled stuff out of that. The other one that
Yeah, the satisfaction,
You know when that was?
we just had a satisfaction
October.
survey.
October.
Yeah.
Is there a summary of that anywhere?
It's on our website,
Okay.
it's under our data page, it's done by school perceptions.
Oh, perfect.
There's a staff one and a parent.
We might capture
We can
some
pull stuff from it, too.
elements.
That's awesome.
I found the Google one, so.
So it's under the district tab, and then you go under the district, it's called district data and results page.
Okay. We'll pull that information. Thank you. Okay. So then, number of slated candidates. So what we try to do, as the applications come in, we vet them, we pre-screen them, we do our Google searches, we do checks on them. We want to try, so then I'll come to a board meeting and I will present the slate. It's done in closed session because the names are confidential. So as and we'll get down to the dates in a second. So the next two steps after the survey closes, after we write the report, is I will come to a board meeting and present the report in open session, because it's open session, and then we put that report on your website and our website. And then in closed session, we'll review the slate of candidates. That's where we'll go through all the applicants. In your board portal, there's a document where it's going to have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. That's where, as we vet them and screen them, we're going to put them in the tiers for you. So tier 1 is going to be your strongest. Tier 2 is going to be pretty good, but not quite as good as tier 1. And it could be as little as they've got superintendent experience, but it's all out of state. Versus tier 1 is all in-state experience and vested in Wisconsin and know Wisconsin finance. Doesn't mean tier 2 can't get there, but tier 1 is going to be stronger. And then tier 3 is the group that we're going to say, we don't want these people in your district at all. And throughout the process, we can move people from different tiers. So they may start out in tier 2, but they might end up in tier 1, or vice versa. They might start out in tier 1 and end up in tier 2 if we turn something up as we vet them and do our screeners. So just keep an eye on that. And at the end of the day, when we present the slate, the board has the final say on who you want to interview, and you can certainly interview anybody from tier 1 or tier 2, doesn't matter. Don't just get locked in tier 1, because there are good people in tier 2 as well. In some searches, what happens is we might have 6 sitting soups, all from Wisconsin, and they've got good records, good track record, their experience, and then you might have a rock star, a curriculum director, but because they don't have experience, they might be in tier 2, but they could be a pretty good superintendent. So, and then we'll kind of walk you through the process once once we present the slate. But the goal is to interview at least 6, no more than 8, but 6, 7, or 8, and then we'll narrow that down to your top 3 after that.
I have just a process
Yes.
question. We're looking at the applicants, today I was looking at the, their Facebook or their social media, but some you have to join.
Okay,
Is it appropriate for us to ask to join their
You can.
social media
Yeah,
page?
you
Like,
can.
like, know me, I know just didn't know.
Yep. No, you certainly can.
That's a good idea.
Well, at least you'd see, I mean, one of them had a GoDaddy and I thought, what is that? I mean, I've heard it, but I didn't know. It's
Sure.
actually like very important.
Interesting. So internal candidates, I don't know if you're gonna have any internal or not, but we treat them the same. So they go through the whole process, we vet them, we pre-screen them. Any indication, any,
I don't think we have anybody with a license.
okay,
Didn't we ask that before, cousin?
We discussed it, and there was some question. Chrissy was the only one I knew of that was at one point doing it, and she stopped.
Okay.
So she pulled out of the PhD program, and I think also the licensure program. I think she's ready to retire, to be very honest. But that's a
Alright.
private comment.
so candidate expenses, we don't have to talk about that until we present the slate, because you have no idea right now who you're going to interview. So typically, the first round of interviews, when you interview the 6, you may or may not want to reimburse candidates for expenses. Once you get down to the day in the district and your final 3, it's very, very common that you reimburse the top 3 for their expenses. And the reason I say you don't have to decide tonight is because once I present the slate, then you'll know who you're going to interview and where they're from and how much it will cost the district if you do pay for their expenses. So chances are there's going to be some very local people, and chances are you might have someone coming in from out of state as well for that first round. So again, it's totally up to the board, but we'll cross that bridge once we present the slate, and you'll have a much better idea of where they're coming from. And if you have questions, please stop me. So advertising, your positions are already posted. We wanted to post it before the Milwaukee convention, so your district, your job is already posted. We're starting to get traction, so that's good. So this is gonna save a lot of time tonight. It's a good job. Background checks, typically, we're gonna do our own background checks throughout the process, our Google searches, but that big one, that is for your lone finalists. Again, we don't have to talk about that until we get down to the finalists, but that background check is done by a third party. It's actually a private investigation company, and it's very, very intrusive. It's going to cover everything from college credits to transcripts to degrees to financials, credit card, any mortgage delinquency, anything, criminal, motor vehicle, social media is going to be on there, the social media posts, so that's very, very extensive. And typically the boards will do that only on the lone finalists, especially if they're not from the area. If it's an internal, if it's a neighboring superintendent, if it's someone that you know well, you may not want to do that extensive background check, you just do the normal background check. But again, if it's someone that is coming from out of state or across the state that we don't know well, I would highly recommend we do that final background check on the lone finalists. Salary and fringe, we already have that posted, salary range. So the biggest thing now is the dates. So I am on page 6, and if we look through the timeline, so we've got the dates for the focus groups. We're going to go with the 18th and 24th, and I'll work on that schedule. The posting is posted through March 7th, so the posting will end on March 7th. We're looking at opening the survey on February 17th and closing it on the 27th. Again, the board is not involved in any of that, so if there's school or no school, it doesn't matter. But we usually keep it open for about 2 weeks. We can extend it as well, so we can watch the responses as they come in, and if we don't feel we're getting a good response rate, we can do a push and we can extend the closing. But tentatively right now, we'll open it on the 17th and then close it on the 27th.
Is that something, I know you will be posting that, obviously, on the school website about the survey, but is that something like, I see that stuff and I forward job openings and those types of things on my own. Would that be something that would be appropriate to put on my own Facebook page?
The more you can get the word out, the better.
Okay, I just don't wanna do it if it's wrong.
And you typically have districts utilize their social media?
Yes.
To put the links up, so you reshare.
That's what I do with,
Yep.
like when there's a job opening or something's coming up within the district.
We don't typically share the satisfaction links
No,
because social media goes to the entire world.
no, yeah, I wouldn't do that, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at
This is
the,
different.
Yeah.
trying to get the survey out to
Yeah.
as many people as possible.
And what other districts have done too, so if you've got a big, let's say you have a big basketball game or wrestling's almost over too, but if you have a big game, put a QR code in the program
Oh, yeah,
and then have the announcer announce to the crowd,
sure,
what that's for and encourage people to, so any big gathering, PTO meeting, science fair, anything, a concert, anything.
And I know this is quick, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, but,
We have the music in our schools concert, but that's not until March 11th.
oh, it's too late.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's, I was gonna say, that's a huge one,
that's a lot, yeah.
but. Okay.
Is the Infinite Campus thing, could that be used?
Yeah, we'll do email blast to parents.
Email the parents, staff, students, high school students.
Oh, okay, yeah, but the community, yeah, the non,
Is it possible to
School
put
band.
something in the paper
Mhm.
or on the paper's website or whatever?
Could be a QR code too, maybe,
Yeah, right.
maybe post on their social.
they might even do it for free, community calendar kind of thing. Possibly.
That reminds me of a civic group, the senior center.
That's,
I
yeah,
mean, we wouldn't have.
it's getting bigger and bigger.
School, but I think that might be where you might get
They
that.
are taxpayers.
We have done the senior centers before for focus groups,
Mhm.
and they actually like it. So, you know. Okay, so now, other dates. So you'll notice on March, and I just put March 13th, I know I'm available, but when is your board meeting in March, first of all?
It's gonna be this year, Charlene, is it the fourth?
It's,
Oh, because we moved
it's
it,
the fourth, and we just.
The fourth Monday of the month.
24th.
Yeah, it's spring break here, the third week of
Yep, the
March.
17th to the 21st, I have spring break.
So the board meeting will be March 24th at 6 p.m.
Okay, and,
We could do a work session.
yeah, so does March 13th work?
Thursday?
Thursday the 13th. And this, so it's a bizarre, so we coordinate everything from when the position closes, to when the survey closes, to when we can get the report done, and now we're gonna present the report and present the slate on the same night. So it all kinda has to go together. So if the 13th works, how that would work is the first half hour, 20 minutes, would be open session. We would present the report, and it takes about 20 minutes. And then we would go into closed session, and then we would review all the applicants. Does the 13th work?
It's a Thursday? What's the time frame? There's a possibility that I won't be available.
So whole thing, hour and a half probably, no more than 2 hours.
Okay, starting
5:30.
And would this be a 5:30 meeting type thing?
Tell me what time works for the board.
5:30 or 6?
Yeah, either's fine for me.
No, it's other obligations. I have things like every night of the week.
So that's a good point. So what I've done too in the past, if a board member can't make it, you see all the applications, you will see the tier document, we can have a conversation about, give me your opinion on what's in there, do you have questions about the candidates? So although you might not be at the board meeting, you'll be able to weigh in on your top choices. Remember, we're looking to interview 6, so we're trying to get, if 20 people apply, we're trying to get the 20 down to 6, so we're trying to do that night. And I can promise you, there's at least gonna be 5 we can just throw out. We get frequent flyers, they apply for every single job, yeah. So the 13th, 5:30. Okay, then you have spring break. So then after that, now we have the first round of interviews. So we did put the week of March 24th in there. And looking at the calendar. So the week of March 24th, now I'm going to give you a couple options here. This is the most work for the board is the first round of interviews, because you're interviewing 6, 7, no more than 8. But
I think it was
6.
8 last night, was it 10?
Yeah. So let's just assume we have 6 or 7. So that's 2 nights. You can't do that in one night. That's 2 nights. Some boards, and some love this and some hate this idea, some boards go on Saturday. And the nice part about Saturday is you're not coming from work, you're fresh, you can do them all in one day, you can do 3 or 4 in the morning, take a lunch break, do 3 in the afternoon, you can deliberate, it's over. You don't have to give up 2 nights, but you are giving up an entire Saturday. Now it's March, the chances are the weather's not going to be real good, it's, so the 2 options are 2 nights during the week or Saturday. And I think if we go during the week, I am actually on, let's see, I am out that week, but Scott is available, I believe, all week that week. So that's when you'll see Scott for sure that week.
Is he available on that Saturday, the 29th? It's not listed, but.
He is.
Okay, what do
So
you guys think?
either
Josh is gonna be doing soccer on Saturday.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
It starts the 2nd week in April, so.
I'm available whenever, that
It's-
week.
Mondays and Wednesdays I will have practices, or I'm the only coach for it. So,
and this is totally your call. We will make either work 2 days during the week or Saturday. And the 2 days do not have to be back-to-back days.
Could we do one day, one night, and a half day Saturday?
That kind of defeats the purpose of.
It doesn't matter to me either. How many are we talking about, like a half hour?
You're talking, we schedule them on the hour, it's the 45 minutes,
Okay.
no more than, we shut it at 50, we have a hard shutdown at 50 minutes, 50. We put the questions in front of them, they don't get the questions beforehand, but they are in front of them. They can gauge their time, they can gauge their response, and typically we want the interview to last about 40 minutes, and then we want them to have at least 5 minutes to ask the board questions. If they talk forever, use the whole time, they're not gonna ask you questions, we're gonna hard shut down at 50 minutes. Then you have a 10-minute break before the next one. And we stick to the schedule.
I'm fine either way. When's it work?
Scheduling one day is sort of better than 2, but it is a Saturday.
I know.
It's okay with me, but I don't want to speak for other people.
It's okay, we need everybody to speak for themselves, otherwise we're not gonna get anywhere.
I have the alumni board here, I have to work on this Saturday. But I also have to work with them on Thursday night and all day Friday and Friday night as well, so I'm not a good one. I'll probably report in another way.
That Saturday is fine by me, Tuesdays and Thursdays are fine by me.
Can I come to at the afternoon session if I'm not in the morning ones, or is, how does that work?
No, you can, but it's gonna be hard for you to weigh in on all the candidates, you know. I'm pretty confident when we present the slate, we don't need to interview 8. I'm very confident we can get, let's say we have 8 strong, I'm very confident I can take you through a process where we can get 6 and we'll, to interview 6. Because if you interview 8, that's gonna add 2 more hours to your day. That's a very long day.
I'm just texting her.
It just
Are we
seems
talking about the 29th?
6 would be the max.
Yes, for
I
this
would-
Saturday.
We wanna do 6 so it's private,
That'd be private.
and we can keep them confidential.
So we gotta do 6.
So in Wisconsin, if you do at least 6, you can keep the names confidential.
Okay,
Oh, that's right.
And then the
okay.
people who don't make the finals,
That makes
their
total
names
sense.
never get released,
Yeah.
and no one knows who
Yeah.
those people are.
I mean, can't we just keep it at 6?
We don't, well, I'll speak for myself. My answer to that is not if I haven't seen the candidate CVs and everything yet. I can't say right now, I'm gonna cut it down to 6, when I haven't even seen what the applicant pool looks like.
That's fair.
He's confident. I've done 2 searches for superintendent, and I think we had more than 6 both times.
Really,
Okay.
but we need
I
at
don't
least
remember.
6 for it to be confidential.
Correct. And so what happens, so let's just say, worst case scenario, we only have 4 that you really think will be your next superintendent. We don't have 6.
Two in, right?
No,
No?
I call those 4, and I tell them that we're going right to the final, or you guys are finalists. We're gonna go to 4 and then maybe 2. But we don't wanna waste your time, and we don't wanna waste 2 other people's time if you know they're not gonna be a superintendent. And every single time, the candidates will say yes, no problem. Because the next week, they're gonna be released anyway, because you're gonna get your finals
Right.
the week after. What we're trying to do is protect the people
Who might not.
who don't make the finals. So you interview 6, 3 don't make the finals. We're trying to protect those 3 and not release any of
Do you ever go from 6 to 2?
We have,
Because that's what we've done in the
We
past,
have.
just gone to 2.
so we've gone from 6 to 2 and 6 to 1. So I'm hoping we have 3 really quality people so we can bring 3 people into the Dana district. If you bring in 2 and they're good, they may have applied for another job as well, and you might lose them, then be down to 1. I did the Ann Arbor, Michigan search 2 years ago, and we interviewed 6. They had 1 person that was way up here, and just blew everyone away, and they ended it right there. That was the person, they brought her back for a final interview in a day in the district, but it was just her. So, that happens too.
Okay. I mean, there's a good chance we can get it down to 6, but I don't think we should
Just
How
not-
long?
just say that that's what it's gonna be no matter what.
And we could fit 8 on a Saturday.
Sure,
Maybe harder than.
Yeah, I mean,
right, exactly.
8-hour day, you can do it.
And sometimes what happens too is you might have 7. Okay, it's pretty easy to eliminate that 9, 10, 8, and you might have 7, you just can't get down to 6, then interview 7.
So we've got problems with whether we go Saturday or 2 nights in a week, we've got scheduling problems, right?
Yeah.
So which is better?
We take a vote.
Yeah.
Because you're, yeah.
So you can't do either one.
Unless we're doing Monday, Wednesday, but that's
what
not-
we-
You can't do Monday, Wednesday.
The week of March 24th.
Thank you.
And also, it would be hard for me to do any days that week just with the college schedule.
And the 24th is our board meeting, so we're really looking at.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it on
Right,
Monday.
exactly.
And that's
So
what
you're-
Saturday has to be.
you're Kelly.
Tuesday night.
Unless I'm useful at all on Saturday afternoon, which doesn't seem like it's the
I
right.
don't know. Yeah.
At least you'll get the, you can see the sleeves.
Yes.
How involved do the professors have to be in alumni weekend? That just occurred to me. Like, is Ben gonna be required to do?
It's not alumni weekend, it's the alumni board, so no, he's
Okay.
good, yeah, he's good.
So are we leaving to a Saturday?
I mean,
It's fine.
Is there anybody besides Kelly that can't be Saturday for sure? Let's go with Saturday.
Saturday, March 29th. Probably gonna snow that day.
Yeah.
All right, so then, we're almost done. So then, after that, what happens is we have what we call our day in the district, and then we have the final interviews.
And the final stays in the district board doesn't have to be there that whole
Nope.
entire time. You can make
The
that-
board is hardly at all. So what happens, for day in the district, what happens is we bring in the 3 finalists on the same day. And they'll meet like in this room and we'll just do a copy, go over the schedule for the day. We put the schedule together. So the morning consists of touring your school buildings. And so we break them up into, they go into, you have 5, how many buildings do you have, 5? How many schools do you have?
I think no.
4?
Four, no.
You have 4?
Well, no, we have 3 buildings, really.
3 buildings.
Right,
3
three
buildings.
buildings, yes.
Okay, that's the easiest, but when it's 3, that's the easiest. So they'll rotate. So what we'll need for that day, again, I put the whole schedule together and I work with Jolene and other administrators as well. So we'll need 3 drivers. So they'll come here, we'll give them the schedule, we'll talk about the schedule, and then one person will tour this building, and one person will go to another building, and one person will go to another building, about 40 to 45 minutes, and then the driver will take them to the next building. So this kind of rotate. So that takes pretty much all morning. Then for lunch, the easiest way for lunch is to bring like sub sandwiches in here in one room and just, they have lunch. They can check their messages, check their emails, do whatever they need to do back in their home district. And yes, they can be together the whole time, they're all professional, it's fine. And then in the afternoon, we'll set up some rotations. So we'll have a group of students, maybe administrators, and then another group, and then again, they'll go from rotation to rotation to rotation. When school is out, we'll set up a central location for staff. So we'll do a 3 meet and greets with all your whole staff, and then in the evening, we'll set up with your community. Again, about 35 to 40 minutes per candidate with your community. All of those groups throughout the day, we put together a QR code or a link, and anyone who is going to be asking the questions or anyone who is witnessing or observing the 3 finalists, they're going to give the board feedback. And so the feedback is going to be, you know, what strengths would this person bring to your district, or what would concern you if this person were hired. It goes right into your board portal. There's a spreadsheet for each of the 3 finalists. It's all organized by columns, and you'll be able to see all the responses as they come in throughout that day. So really the board is not involved. Some board members either drive because they're retired or they have time, they can drive a candidate. Or the other things board members like to do is come to the evening session to observe how the finalists interact with the community. You don't really ask questions, but you're in the auditorium or in the room, just observing what's going on, and that's perfectly okay.
So who then, other than board members, would drive these candidates around?
Typically, it's another administrator. Will do it, and the principals will lead the tour. But typically, another administrator, or a former board member, or every community tends to have someone that's very active in the community and looking for something to do, knows the community. But we'll work together and finding those drivers. So that's your day in the district, and then followed by the next day, the final interview with the board. And the reason, excuse me, the reason we like to go back to back, if someone has a to travel a long distance or fly. It's just one trip.
Well, would it make sense, my question is, since we're having, we're gonna have a quick turnaround time to contract these three, if we're gonna be meeting on Friday the 29th, or Saturday, excuse me, would it make sense to give them a couple of days? Or have them start, I'm trying to think, would you want them back on the 31st right away? Or wait a couple of days, I mean,
You probably want to wait a couple days,
to get the schedule.
yeah.
So what is the date for the day in the district? Okay.
It's the week of March 31st,
Okay.
so
I see.
we stay away from Fridays.
Yeah,
So districts have done Thursday day in the district, Friday interviews, or Wednesday, well, Wednesday's not a real good day for the day, it's a church night usually, in the evening. So Tuesday the first for day in the district, board interviews on Wednesday, or Thursday day in the district, board interviews on Friday. Or if you think Wednesday night would not be a conflict for day in the district for the evening sessions, you can go Wednesday day in the district, Thursday final interviews.
I would vote for Tuesday day in the district. And Tuesdays, Wednesdays, it's my church, we can, CCD.
Tuesday the first is election day, you see, know that. I don't know if you have a referendum or not, but so it's probably not a good night.
I did just text Christy because I want to find out when testing is happening, because we don't want to have a day in the district tour happening when students are testing.
Good idea.
I don't know that schedule.
And because you are interviewing on that Saturday, the 29th, you could go out to the next week too, if you really, if that's better for schedule-wise.
I think testing is in March, but I don't remember.
I think there's runs and runs and runs.
And then it's weeks, or
I guess, how many finalists do we envision?
3, hopefully 3.
Okay,
3 is ideal.
yeah. So we could have 6 to 8 on that Saturday for the semis.
Yep.
3, hopefully, for the finals. Jolene, I got this email on Friday maybe. 9th and 10th grade are Tuesday, April 8th. And Wednesday, April 9th.
isn't that's ACT?
That's ACT.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
The rest of
about-
it,
I'm
I don't
thinking
have
about
any other kids
forward.
outside of high school, so.
Right,
But that's when I got.
Stretch forward out over a long period.
it does.
And we kind of stagger them.
The window is huge.
It is huge. Yeah. So I'm just,
I haven't got anything for our kids.
No,
Because usually they'll email and say, please don't schedule doctor's appointments, dentist visits, like, don't come get your kid early, don't bring them in
make
late.
sure your child gets lots of sleep.
Yeah.
So you could go the 2nd, it's a Wednesday, you could do the day in the district on the 2nd, final interviews on the 3rd, or day in the district on the 3rd, Thursday, the final interviews on Friday the 4th. Or if you wanted, you could push it to that next week as well.
Final interviews Friday, being Friday during the day.
Again, it's up to the board, usually they're at night, but it's up to the board, whenever you can.
I'm off Friday, so.
We finally found a time, Tash, can you?
I'm gonna have a hard time meeting the week of the 31st, it's my busiest week of the year for work, but the week of the 7th, I'm open.
Okay.
Whatever that's worth. Sorry, just a really
It's okay.
busy time.
Everybody's schedule's different, yeah.
That's still really would give us, us time, I don't know what we need for background checks. How long do those take? Usually
7 days usually.
7
Yeah.
days, so that would still give us, meet our goal of mid-April, right?
You're still good. week of the 7th, what days are we looking at?
Maybe we do the 8th. If, for the,
Except for the problem with high school, the kids are taking.
oh, that's right, that's ACT,
Oh,
right?
that's-
ACT.
Oh, shoot, yeah, okay.
That's right.
Which means they're not gonna want any excitement going on in school.
Or, I mean, the other option is,
For the high school, it have to be the 10th, we have to go into that.
I mean, and we've done this a number of times too, it doesn't have to be back to back. It's nice if it is, just because of travel, but you could do the day in the district the week of the 31st, and then the final interview, pick a night the week of the 7th. It wouldn't matter with the ACT testing that week, because it's just good to the board.
Okay.
I've got on my calendar already that April 7th is a work session night. I don't know if you have that on your calendar.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
do.
do. So can we use that? So we
I
can
like
use
that,
that,
Saturday.
which is 4.
But we don't have anything booked for it, we're just holding it right for this, or for work.
Work session. So, like, are we saying that would be a good interview night?
That would be the final interview for the board.
On the 7th.
Because we already have board meetings scheduled. With work session.
And we could do the day of the district the week before then, right?
We did the 31st.
Sure. So technically, it is only the day before business days anyway. No. Never mind, that was, I lost a week in there somewhere.
So we're looking for finals, stay in the district first, right? So we could do that the week of March 31st, correct?
Dayton District, the week of March 31st, yep. Probably look at maybe the 3rd.
Maybe Thursday, right?
That would give them some time, because they'll be there the Saturday.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
think that would make sense. And then if we meet on the 7th,
And the 7th would be the final
we'll
interview.
have our board work session.
That seems probably easiest scheduling for us, because most of us planning on being there on the 7th.
Yep.
Do you usually choose someone that night then?
I'll talk to
No,
Steve
not-
and see if you can fill in for him or something.
That's not a good question. Do you usually pick the candidate on the 7th? Sometimes it's clear cut, other times it's not.
Okay.
So, maybe I'm gonna use this example here. So, we did, a week ago, we did WAPACA's final interviews, and they've got 3 really, really good finalists, and they could not pick that night. And so they're meeting on this coming Thursday to pick. So a lot of times, it's easy to narrow down to 2, but then if they're that close, the board needs to sleep on it and do some more vetting and
Sure.
just going back and rereading the comments, reading back through the report, rather than make a quick decision. So sometimes yes, but many times no.
Does it ever come down to you doing background checks on more than one person?
Yes,
That's top
Okay.
schedule.
yes. And then when it's really, really close, it comes down to a site visit,
Sure.
if you want to move to a site visit. Some of the problems with the site visit, if it's 2 sitting superintendents, it's easy. But if you have a sitting superintendent and then a principal,
Oh, yeah.
it's tougher because you're gauging different things.
The one thing you can usually see is interactions with people.
Correct.
I don't
Which
know
I've come
what
to
you
believe
guys
is
all talked
pretty
about
unique.
while I was gone, but I went in to see if Mary was here yet, the next meeting, and Becky is here. And she confirmed for me that the ACT stuff is the 8th and 9th of April. And then forward is after that. So I think if you would look at the week of March 30th through April 5th.
We're
That would-
looking at doing which week now?
So we're looking at
Thursday, the
Third-
3rd.
Thursday the 3rd,
For the
this
all day.
visit.
That should work as far as testing goes.
then Monday the 7th for the final interview with the board.
Which is fine, unless Mary had some stuff that she really wanted us to do at that work session, otherwise we're fine. Okay.
Do we need to scope out another day in case we aren't able to make a decision on February
That's a good idea.
7th?
That's a good idea.
April 7th, I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For me, any day that we, evening.
The 10th would be best for me.
What day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday, that won't be very good for me, but I can make it work. We start soccer practice for the college in April, so I'm pretty sure I got practices Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Thursdays, I'm unavailable from 7 to 9. All Thursdays for the whole spring semester.
Any reason we couldn't do it on a Wednesday, the 9th, in case
It's better for
we
me.
needed to?
I like that better.
That could be a backup.
And we may not need it, right?
Right.
Just
You may not need it.
put it in the schedule just in case, I think that's smart.
Joan, you're gonna add all of these dates to the Board of Education Google Calendar?
Yeah, I need to get them.
Okay.
All
So
right,
I'm just
let's-
asking so I don't have to put them in twice.
And then everything will be in the portal too by tomorrow, so
Oh,
you'll
okay.
see it in the portal, but let's just go through the whole schedule. So
Okay.
here's what I have. I have focus groups on Tuesday, February 18th and February 24th, the Monday. We'll probably do Sunday night, the 23rd, as a 7 PM Zoom as well. So 3 days for focus groups. The position closes on March 7th, posting is done, deadline to apply is March 7th. The survey will open on February 17th. The survey closes on February 27th, unless we need to extend it. We'll present the leadership profile report in open session on March 13th at 5:30 PM. Followed by closed session to present the slate on the 13th. First round of interviews, Saturday, March 29th. You want to pick a starting time? Typically, it's 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Okay, 8 AM on the 29th. Then we have the day in the district, Thursday, April 3rd. We have the final interview with the board on Monday, April 7th. Is that 5:30? What time is that? 6.
Normally said.
6, that's fine. So like 6, 7, and 8. And then, if needed, Wednesday the 9th for final decision. If you have it.
Fabulous.
Any questions?
You're kind of expecting that we won't see, the first week in March when we really see large numbers of applications.
Yeah, you're not gonna see, I mean, they're gonna trickle in right now, but you won't, so closer to the closing date. So if it closes on the 7th, you're looking at the very end of February, first part of March, before you start seeing 3, 4, 5 come in the same day. Again, you know, I'm thinking between 15 and 20 is what we've been seeing. So that's, our goal is to get between 15 and 20. Again, I don't care about the quantity, we want quality. We don't need 30 applicants just to say we have 30 applicants. But we need to have 3 really good ones for your finalists.
Is it proper to ask about Wapaka with the
Sure.
other 2 candidates that do not get the position? Do you think they would be good candidates?
One, they both would be really good. One will definitely apply, and I'm not convinced the other one will.
I know one of your questions that you're gonna ask us when we have our one-on-ones is if we know of anybody.
Yep.
Do you want, if we do you want us to talk to them first? Or
No,
do
they
you-
love getting a cold call from me.
I was
Yeah.
interested.
Yep. I just say, I'm doing the search and ask for potential candidates and your name is,
It's okay.
so. But if you want to, you certainly can,
Yeah,
give them a heads up, but it's kind of fun when I just cold call.
sure.
For superintendent candidates, are there like groups that would consider a small district like Ripon and then would not consider a small district like Ripon? In other words, are there gonna be people who are really only interested in a, Fond du Lac size community or something like that?
Yes, I mean, location, size of the district and location are the two biggest things.
Okay.
So pending where they're coming from,
No.
and then what they want. So you're big enough where you could get an experienced superintendent with a smaller district. Okay, you're not too small for that, so you could get someone that's in a 1,000, 1,200 student district, trying to move up a little bit.
What's all back for 2,000?
That is just over 2,000, yeah, barely. Just-
They're further north.
Barely.
Yeah.
Further away from the good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's gonna be interesting.
Anything else from anybody?
Thank you for all your time.
You're welcome. Looking forward to my interviews with the board members, so if you did not respond to the email, you should have it sitting there.
And the Zoom link you're using is the one in the
Same one,
packet,
yep.
and then use those.
Yep. But I'll send you a calendar invite once we set a date. Again, feel free, to any questions, don't ever hesitate to call, contact me, email me. I'm pretty good at getting back to you right away. Right,
Do you happen to know which polls you filled in so far for interview?
I'm at 9 on Monday.
there you go, my hard copy.
9:30 on Monday. 11,
I have 9 o'clock on Monday filled, and I have 11:30 filled, and I have 4:30 filled on Monday, and then I got a couple other districts, so there's 3 screens in there, but
I'm 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
8 o'clock on Tuesday?
Yep.
I don't think it's on Tuesday.
Who wants 7:30?
I'm
I was gonna take 7:30, but that's okay, so,
8 o'clock?
yeah, 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
You got it. I'll send it. It'll work, phone call.
I'll be driving to school at that time.
Okay,
I could do Monday the 10th at noon.
Monday, 10th at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that works.
It's good, we agree.
Looks like we have Denise at 11:30. Your phone call or Zoom?
I don't really get reception in the hospital, so I'll say Zoom.
And again, I'll send you a calendar.
I have to go stand outside otherwise. I usually call me on my cell phone.
Oh, wow, got it, perfect.
All right, thank you.
What's the earliest on Monday?
Monday, the 10th, 7:30. Unless you want a second, I can do 7 if you want, I'm up.
That was great.
7:30? Phone call or Zoom?
We'll try to do
You can do
You
it.
can do it.
You can do it. They'll send you a link for your calendar, you just click it.
If we struggle, we'll switch to a phone call.
Okay, sounds good.
Mike, I can take 3:30 on the 10th.
3:30, is it Gary's, right?
Yep,
And the 10th.
and Zoom is great.
Are either of the applicants that have already submitted, are they considered it for frequent flyers?
I haven't screened them, let me see what
Oh, okay.
let me look and see.
So maybe you'd recognize the names.
the one was, worked here.
Yeah, Brian, Zach.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Brian's good. I mean, yeah, he's got a few years'
What's that
experience.
name?
Yeah, he's probably
That
gonna be,
name sounds familiar.
Brian is probably gonna be a tier one.
Okay.
I've not pre-screened him yet. I know him.
Mm.
I taught classes for Turbo, and he was in one of my classes.
Oh,
So, and then he's got 3 years, I think, right now.
almost.
3. So I would think he would be potential applicant. I think there's no reason not to put him in tier one unless there was some stuff that happened here. But again, I haven't gotten that far.
I
Who is
can do
that?
Brian
7:30 on
Zocco.
Tuesday, if that's available.
Which one?
Tuesday is 7:30. Be
Yes.
here early.
Yep.
Before my day gets really long.
Zoom or phone call?
Either one. Be my phone, so I don't care.
Let's just do Zoom then. Okay. All right.
So what's your card? I
You
was-
guys done for the night?
Yeah.
There's an expulsion hearing.
I'm out of here. Done my share of those.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
All right, I don't think we have to vote on anything. We have a consensus on everything, so I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Gary. And you may vote. It's always the IT guy that comes in line. And we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.